What is going on? So today we're going to be looking at the Epson Workforce WF-7820. It's actually the newer wide format printer from Epson. It's actually replacing the WF-7710. That's what's in these boxes. I got two 7710s refurbished from Epson that we're going to be using for some videos that we're going to be doing here pretty shortly. So you want to stay tuned for those. But back to the 7820. It's their newer printer. A couple of models came out. 7820 is the replacement for the 7710. The 7840 would be the replacement for the 7720. The 7820 has one tray. The 7840 is going to have two trays. Now, you're not supposed to be able to use this for sublimation printing. And as of 10/12/2020, that's today, is the 12th of October 2020, they don't make arc resets or arc chips, basically auto reset chips for the 812 cartridges, which is what this uses. They don't make reset chips for that, nor do they make a chipless firmware for this yet. So the only other way to do it would be probably to swap chips, which is probably what we're going to have to wind up doing. But we will be getting some sublimation printing on this unit today. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and open this box up and get all the pretty blue tape off of there, things like that, and get it ready to set up the drivers on the computer. Stay tuned. Okay, so we have everything unboxed, and as you can tell, this is one of the newer generation all-in-one printers. They look like the ones that look like a big box are the newer generation all-in-ones. These older guys, like the 7710, 7720, 3640, 3620, they all look like this in the front. The big yellow and orange button for stop and reset. A lot of the buttons are right there on the front. But these right here, they all look like pretty much cubes, and they can all be set. Move the screen up and down, things like that. So these are all in the same family of these newer style WF all-in-one printers. So right off the bat, what I noticed, if you open this up, it looks like they've relocated your maintenance box to the front and to the top. So it pushes ink from your print head up to your maintenance box up here in the top. So using the pump, I'm sure. This carriage looks eerily similar to this carriage, so I'll probably be able to use the 812, the 802 XL cartridges with the no chips and do a chip swap. Looking at the back, you pop this open for your document feeder. It's pretty cool. So your document feeder is here, and then this kind of pops up, and then you have an actual holder for the larger paper, like the 13x19 and things like that. So A3 plus, all that stuff. So let's go ahead and fold this back down and push this back up. So I bought an extra set of cartridges. These cartridges are pretty damn expensive too, man. I paid like 60 something bucks for this cartridge set, but that's just in case what I'm gonna plan doesn't work. So again, what I'm gonna do is a chip swap, because if you look, the cartridges, the 812s, look just like the 802s. So what I'm thinking is that I can take the chip off of that guy, the black one, and put it on this clear one. And the printer wouldn't be able to tell the difference if it's a refillable cartridge or the initialization ink that came with it. So we're going to be doing that. If I need to swap out again, I'll just use these chips from this set here. But I don't do a lot of wide format printing. I'm just doing this because basically somebody told me I couldn't do it. So anyways, what I'm going to do now is get done setting it up. Now, when I open this up, it just came with the normal Epson stuff, man. The driver CD, power cord and the cartridges and a whole bunch of blue tape that I had to take off of here. It wasn't that bad though. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and do the chip swap now. So I'm gonna swap the chips over to these 802 XL carts. I'm gonna swap those chips over now, and then I'll go ahead and install the drivers onto the PC and do the initialization. All right, go ahead and set it up so you guys can take a look at me taking these chips off. Okay, so what I've been doing is taking the cartridges that are that came with the printer, which are these black ones. I've been taking the chips off of them and putting them on the refillable cartridges, 802 XL refillable cartridges. I've already done the magenta and the black, so right now I'm gonna go over how I've been doing these. So let's see, let's go ahead, and this one came with the printer. This is the 812. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. All right. Now I have the refillable 802 cartridge here. So what I'm gonna do is simply lift up on this chip by putting you can put a razor blade in there, but you can actually just use your fingernail. Just be a little careful. I don't want to damage the chip. So just take, and I'll use the razor blade so it's easier to see. I'm going to get underneath it and just kind of lift up on it. Comes out really, really easy. Then we're going to take the refillable cartridge, and on this little chip bed, you can put these chips. So there's actually a little fourth nipple down here at the bottom that we're going to make sure is flat. So we're going to take a razor knife and we're just going to make sure that that little nipple at the bottom is cut all the way off, shaved flat. And what the theory behind that little nipple at the bottom is, this little hole here would sit on top of it, but this piece of plastic is way too big for that hole. So I just go ahead and chip it off of there. And when we put the chips in the cartridge, you just kind of angle it in. And I'm trying to hold this and do it. Just kind of angle it in and push down. Alright, so yeah, you just kind of angle it in and push down, and then the chip will stay on there with these clips that are on the side. So there's two clips on the side here. Those are the ones you want to keep intact. But there's a fourth one down here at the bottom. Hopefully this is in focus, y'all. Yeah, that fourth one down there at the bottom. You want to make sure that that's flat so that the chip can lay flat up against there. You can see it's at an angle here, so I need to file that down a little bit further. And this chipboard actually comes off. So now, if you look, you can see it's flat up against that board there. So now that when I put it on there, it's just going to register a yellow cartridge. So we'll put this over here with these guys, and we'll do this last one. What is this? Cyan. So take this off. We'll take the chip off. Put that over there. We'll get this guy flattened. keep forgetting. Hold that down. So now take this chip, place it on there, press down, and that'll get it to lock inside. And once you, like I said, once you file that fourth nipple down here, down at the bottom, you angle the chip in, and the pieces of plastic on the side of the chip bed will grab it once you press down into it. So it's not going anywhere. And actually, these guys actually come off, so you can actually remove this whole chip bed if you wanted to. And that whole piece comes off. Just make sure this is pressed down in there really good. And then we'll slide this back on there. And there's actually some grooves that this goes in, so you're going to make sure that it's in there properly. So that snapped in. So we got these chips from the 812 cartridges. We got them on our 802XL refillable cartridges. Now what we'll do now is fill this with our sublimation ink and prime them, just like you would with any other refillable cartridges. So we're going to fill these up with ink. I use Dynamite Gorilla ink. I'll put a link in the description where you can purchase my ink. It's really good ink. But you can use any kind of high quality sublimation ink for this. Again, I don't do a lot of printing wide format, but I really wanted to make this video and show that it can be done. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up and get it set up into the printer so that it initializes with the sublimation ink. Okay, so we got our ink cartridges chipped with the 812 chips, and now we are ready to go ahead and install the ink in the cartridges and get them primed and ready to go. So when you get the cartridges, the 812s, they'll come like this. You'll have your your vent hole and your fill hole. Normally they have them switched up. I like to have my colored plugs in the fill hole, but it doesn't really matter. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and remove this clear plug. It's supposed to be in our fill hole, and then we'll just simply start to fill it with ink. So I'll go ahead and start to get some ink in here. And these are new cartridges, so the film is still on the bottom of the cartridge. So I'll get this going here with some ink. Now you don't have to fill this all the way up right now, because what we're going to do is prime it and get all of the air into the chambers that it's supposed to be into. Now I like to use 30 mil syringes, and I'll just use these little 10 mil syringes for the priming process. But after you get it filled up with a little bit over halfway full of ink, you're going to take your syringe and stick it into the fill hole, and then you're going to make sure that the vent hole is still plugged. And then with that in the fill hole, what we're going to do is just simply pull up on this and let it fall on its own. And what that's going to do is it's going to remove all of the air from the chambers in the cartridge and fill them with ink. So we're going to do it one more time just to make sure, and let that fall. And once you do that, you can go ahead and remove this and continue to fill it up with ink. So I'll go ahead and fill this the rest of the way up. Going a little slow because it's getting full. So now that we got that done, we're just going to simply move the colored plug from the vent hole and put it in the fill hole. Just like that. And now your cartridge is primed and it's ready to be inserted when the printer calls for it. Took this off. So now the cartridge is primed, and it'll be ready when the printer calls for it when we do the setup or the initialization here. So got it filled up with ink, got it primed. So now we'll go ahead and do the rest of these cartridges and get them put in the printer. Okay, so we got the chips off of the cartridges that came with it, and we inserted it on the 802XL refillable cartridges. So now the next step would be to install the driver onto your PC or your Mac, and then go ahead and go through the setup. So I've already got it for time. I've already am on the Epson website. Now it does come with a CD, but I haven't used a CD in at least 10 years. So we're already on the website. So we'll go ahead and go to the download of the driver utilities here, or the driver. Actually, I'm just gonna download the driver. I'm not gonna download the whole utility combo pack here. So I know this is a little unprofessional, y'all. I'm kind of holding this while it does this, but we'll go here and download just the driver. Oh, nope, I'm on the wrong one. So, just the driver, here we go. There's just the driver. All these are the same thing. That's a combo package installer. I'm just going to be doing the driver here. So, looks like that's done. So we'll go ahead and open it up, and we're just going to go ahead and run this just like you would run the initial setup. So it pops up. We're not going to set this as a default, and always uncheck automatically update software, always. So we'll go ahead and click OK, and we're going to just go through the menus here. Oh. Okay. To yes network connection. Alright, so it's gonna ask us to make sure the printer is turned on and connected. So turn on the printer here. And looks like we have to set this up, so I'll set this up and probably speed it up. Alright, so now it's going to tell me to install the ink cartridges that came with this printer and close the scanner unit. Initialization begins. Now, these are the cartridges that came with it, but we're not going to use these. We took the chips off of those and put them on these cartridges. So these are the cartridges that we're going to be putting in here. So we'll go ahead and lift this guy up. Oh shit. Lift that up. These two arrows are going to line up. Oh. Let us do this. so now that that's closed, we'll go ahead and open that up. And then we're going to put these in here now. So let's put this in here. Now we close this down, like so. And then we're going to close this scanner unit cover down. And now if we did everything right, it should pick up those refillable cartridges as the initialization cartridges that are down here. So looks like it's doing that now. It's doing the initialization. As you can see, it takes about 4 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is speed it up here and come back to it. Actually, I'm gonna just go ahead and pause it and then come back to it. Okay, the initialization is complete. Now, I went a little bit out of order here. You can do it this way where you install the driver first and then turn the printer on, but it's probably best to go ahead and turn the printer on and then put the cartridges in there that we swapped out with the chips, then put those in there, then install your driver. But you can do it this way too. So when you do it this way, it's going to look for the printer automatically, but since we didn't have the printer set up yet, it didn't find it. So what I'm going to do is actually go back here, and what I'm going to do is actually go back, and we're going to install it with the USB. So we're going to hit USB connection, we're going to click OK. And make sure the printer is turned on and connected to your printer via the USB cable. The program will search for the printer and automatically configure the port. So I'm going to take my USB cable, which I've already got connected to the back of the printer. I'm going to insert it in the USB port, which is here. So I'll let that go ahead and install. So it's going to tell you the printer driver installation and port configuration are completed successfully. So we'll go ahead and close out of there. And now should be set up on the computer here. So let me check my devices and printers. And where is he at? Uh-oh. I don't see it. Oh, duh, sitting right here. All right, so that's not right. That's not supposed to look like that. So we'll make sure we get this printer driver configured again. Let me make sure. Okay, so we got everything, the new cartridges put in there with the chips from the original cartridges that came with it. Got these in there, and now what we need to do is set up the Wi-Fi. So I do Wi-Fi printing, so set it up with the router. I already got this done. I'm just kind of going through it so you guys can see it. We'll go to change settings, and we'll go to Wi-Fi Setup Wizard. I'm gonna find it, and I'm already on here, but I'll go ahead and set up to this one here. So we'll go ahead and enter my password. Alright, click on Start Setup, and then it's going to connect to our router here. Yahtzee. So we'll go ahead and close that out. And now we'll go to the computer and install the driver. So we've already got it downloaded. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start this driver. I'm going to start this again. Let's go ahead and click on yes. And we're not going to set it as default, and we're not going to automatically update software. Click on OK for English, agree, OK. So yes, network connection. Alright, so then it'll go up there, and being that it's already connected to our Wi-Fi, we're going to go ahead and click on the 7820 series, click OK. Alright, printer driver installation and port configured completed successfully. Let's try this again. So, as you can see, I usually keep my status monitor off, but you can see it then popped up in here again. So we'll go ahead and click on that. Click on software update. Oh. And check printer for updates now. Of course not. So it looks like it's forcing you to update. We'll just close out of here for now. Well, shit, it's going to download it anyways. Oh well. So we'll go ahead and yes to that, because it looks like it's going to make you. So we'll let it reinstall this and check for updates. Alright, software is up to date. Double click these auto update settings. Oh, and look at this. It's got all of my Epson printers here, but I've got them all set to never, except for this one. So we'll make sure that this one's set to never as well. Anything else? No, never, 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 never. All of my 4734s. So this is new. New to me at least. I've always used status monitor 3 for everything. But we'll go ahead now. None of these are getting updated, and we'll close this out. Alright, so we should be good to go for now. Now, if you look on here, it's telling me that there's a firmware update available. But just like the old ones, we can just go ahead and close that out. Close this out. It'll still print. So, now, what are we doing? Okay, so now, let's take a look at our devices and printers. And there it is. But that's still not right. It's supposed to look like the other printers here. But at any rate, we'll go ahead and close this out. And that's for now. See if we can get a oh, so yeah, it's the same driver. I don't know why it's not showing up as an actual, this depiction of the printer here. It's giving us this generic little printer here. But anyways, so here it is. same as the other Epson printer driver. So we'll go ahead and see if we can get a, you know what, let's just do it straight from the printer. Let's just go ahead, and the first thing we'll do is load this with some sublimation paper. Nope, we gotta expand this tray. So I don't have any. I think I got some 11s by 17 in there. But we'll go with the legal for now, because more than likely I'll probably just be doing a license plate for now. Like I said, just want to show that we can do this with it. So yep, legal premium matte. So first thing I want to do is go to maintenance. And we'll do a nozzle check. Okay, so as you can see, the nozzle check came out flawlessly. So we'll go ahead and hit the circle on that and go back. So now let's go ahead and get into an actual print. I'm gonna pause it here and get the computer ready for a print. Okay, I got my PC back up. I got my image up that I'm gonna print, and I'm into the print settings. I already have presets set up for the paper that I use, which is A-Sub-120. I'm gonna go ahead and get this printed here. So we'll go okay, and we'll go ahead and hit print. So send it to the printer. And that tray adjusts to the size of the paper that you're printing when you start to print. And I got a piece of paper holding this micro switch in here, so I'm able to lift the lid up while it's printing. And so it's printing the image now. I've also got the heat press warming up, so we'll go ahead and do a press onto the license plate as well. Alright, so this is done printing. I'm gonna go ahead and put a piece of aluminum on here. We're using the aluminum license plate. So I'll go ahead and get this ready. I'm actually letting the heat press warm up right now, so I'll actually pause it here and come back when it's ready to press. Alright, so we got the heat press up to temperature. This is running in Celsius, so I have it up to 200 degrees Celsius at 66 seconds. It's actually more like 60 seconds. The timer's actually a little bit fast on this one. So I got it in the heat press and ready to go ahead and press it down. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so now we'll take a look at the finished image. Throw that bitch up there, it's hot. Alright, so there's the finished image right there, man. It came out really, really clean. Really, really nice. So would I recommend this? Let's say this. If you look at the print counter, it's let's see what it's on. We've done 18 total prints. Normally, they're the legal size in full color with sublimation ink. So we've done 18 prints, and it's almost half of the cartridges are depleted. So it probably doesn't make the most economical sense to put these in here right now. I'd wait until they make some auto reset chips for these, or they come out with a chipless firmware for it. Neither of which are on the horizon soon, from what I understand. Now I did buy an extra set of ink here, and like I said, I think that was $58.99 for the ink. So in theory, as soon as this goes out, I would have to take these out, open this set up, take the chips back off of those, put them on those, refill them with ink again, and start all over. Honestly, the way to go would be a bulk ink system like a CISS or an Eco Tank. They're the same thing, same exact thing. But until they get that for this printer, I probably won't be using this again. I kind of just wanted to do this because, like I said before, you know, when people tell you you can't do something, it just lights a fire in me. I don't know about y'all, but so anyways, got it up and printing. Everything's good to go with it. Again, I probably wouldn't use this for everyday printing at the moment. I would wait until they either have art reset chips or a chipless firmware for it. But I will not stop y'all from ordering these 802 XL refillable cartridges off the website. I'll put a link in the description if you want to give it a shot, or if you're in a jam and you got prints that need to go out and you need something off the shelf. There was I ain't gonna say a jillion of them, but there was a lot of these in at my Office Depot. So I don't think they'll be running out of stock anytime soon on them. But if you if you need you have to have some wide format printing like today, tomorrow, I would get you a set of these chips. I'm sorry, get you a set of these cartridges, and maybe grab a couple of sets of these, and at least that'll get you through maybe a project or something until your 7720 or 7710 gets fixed. But yeah, it could be done. So don't let people tell you can't do something. And that's it, man. So okay, guys. So yeah, if you like the video, go ahead and like, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good stuff. As you can tell, I'm not the best at making videos, but I'm gonna try to get better. I got a lot of information I'm trying to share coming down the pipe. A lot of stuff with the more popular wide formats, the 7710s. And I got some other ideas coming as well, so stay tuned. We got the website that'll be updated as well, too. I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm trying to do everything by myself, so stick with me, bear with me. Things are changing, so yeah, man, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks.